Hey everyone, very good evening. Just letting everyone know who have joined on time that we are already in the session and we're also ready to start. But as all of you can see in the participants, I think I have just got around 40% of the students so far. So I will have to forcefully wait for a couple of minutes from now. Meanwhile, I'm requesting those of you who have joined on time to please revise yesterday's class and do not waste your time. So please go through yesterday's class once everyone. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, once again. Okay. The other day also I have mentioned this, as we are progressing towards the completion of this program, more and more people are joining late to the session, and that is definitely adding a lot of delay in the delivery of the concepts as well. Good evening, everyone. Those of you who are already in the session, please revise yesterday's class. I'm sure all of you know the topic of discussion that is currently going on. We're discussing the basic building blocks of a Java program. And through an example in yesterday's class, we have seen a Java program can have something called as keywords. These are predefined words to the language, in the language. And there are also something called as identifiers. Basically, these are names that are given by the programmer. We have something called as the literals, we have the operators, we have the comments. Out of all of these 5 basic building blocks, we have seen the first 2, keywords and identifiers. Now, the rest of the components within a program is what we should be understanding. I definitely can't wait beyond 15 minutes. Now the session has started. Now, let us quickly jump into the technical discussion for today. I am sure all of you are aware that today is the last but one class. That means tomorrow would be the last day of this EDL training program for Java programming. Right. Okay. Before I start, once again, a quick heads up to the YouTube audience. There is a Zoom meeting link already shared in the live chat by Amar sir. Please use that Zoom meeting link and just click on that and you will be able to navigate to Zoom meetings. So get connected over Zoom meetings, all of my YouTube students. Right. Now understand this. So concentrate here. In yesterday's class, we have understood 2 fundamental components. What are keywords and what are identifiers? Now, before I proceed ahead and speak about literals, operators, and comments, there is also one more entity within your Java program, which very frequently you're going to be using it. You should know what is it actually. Sir, what is it you're talking about? Sir, what I'm talking about is a concept in programming called as variables. So who can quickly tell me what is a variable in any programming language, not just specific to Java? What do you think is going to be the definition of a variable? Am I audible, everyone? I'm asking a certain question here. I expect responses. Okay. Container which stores the value. Perfect. Perfect. Good, Parvati. Good, Rohit. It's a memory location. Okay. Holds a certain value. Okay. Good, Lakshmi. Container for holding values. Good, good. Stores information. Okay. Now observe this, everyone. See, let us say in my program, for some reason, I would like to store this data within my program. Assume this is my program. I want to store this piece of information called as 25 within my program. How do we store, sir? All of you know the rules of the language, going by the syntax of the language. Whenever this data is going to be stored, tell me, if I have written this piece of information within my program, let us assume this is my program. I have typed my program, I have saved it on hard disk. But whenever I want to use my program, use is a very non-technical word here. Technically speaking, I want to execute my program. whenever I would like to execute my program, can you please think and answer, where do you think this program is going to be taken and placed while the program is under execution? Did all of you get my question here, everyone? I have typed my program. In my program, I have also specified this information called as 25 piece of data it is, and I have saved it on the hard disk. But now when I want to execute this program, at the time of execution, do you think the program would still be residing on the hard disk? 100% no. Whenever we say something is under execution, 100% that is not present on the hard disk, it has definitely been loaded onto the RAM. Definitely this program now comes onto the RAM while the program is executing. And can anybody here tell me, how do you define what is a RAM? I have already told you the definition that I'm expecting in one of my previous classes. Define what is a RAM. Good Rohit. Good Yogshri. Please don't tell me it is random access memory, temporary memory, primary memory, main memory, semiconductor technology based memory device it is. I have given you my own definition as to what a RAM is. Good Geeta Shri. A RAM is nothing but collection of bytes. I'm sure all of you also remember we had done a simple calculation. If in case I have got a 8 GB RAM, how many bytes would be there, sir? In total, there would be 800 crore bytes that would be present in what you refer to as a 8 GB of RAM. So a simple definition of what a RAM is, it is nothing but collection of bytes. So observe this, maybe this is going to be the very first byte. Maybe this is our second byte. Similarly, maybe this is our third byte. Maybe this is our fourth byte. Let me just copy this. So basically, whenever we refer to this memory device called as RAM, the first definition that should strike your head is that RAM happens to be collection of bytes. That is what a RAM is. Of course, I will not be able to show all of the 800 crore bytes here. And then forget about today's class. Nothing from the beginning I would have been able to speak. In between, there are many bytes. I'm just going to show them as dashes like this. You should assume definitely there are a lot many more bytes. Perfect. And I had also told you the reason why this memory device, it is not called as sequential access memory. Rather, it is called as random access memory. It is because the microprocessor can randomly visit a specific memory location on the RAM and it will be able to fetch the information for us. Why, sir? Because every single byte on the RAM, it is going to be associated with a unique address with it. That is why randomly I'll be able to visit it. For example, let us say the address of the first byte, obviously it is going to be 0. Just a minute. The better the diagram would be, the better clarity you will also gain. So let us say all of these are the addresses of all of these bytes over here. And of course, in between, there are going to be many, many more bytes. So let us say randomly, I would be referring to these memory locations in between the RAM. Let us say maybe the address of this byte happens to be 800 crore, means it is going to range from 0 to 800 crore minus 1. So there would be 10 digits. So any number which has got 10 digits and whose first digit should range between 0 to 7. That means I can definitely start with somewhere 212 crores. So basically, it should have 10 digits. Similarly, the address of this byte, since it is immediately adjacent to the previous byte, obviously it would be in the incremental order. Perfect. So what about the last byte, sir? All of you know, since the first byte address started from 0, the address of the last byte, it is going to be 800 crore minus 1, which is nothing but 7 followed by 9 nines like this. And accordingly, you can also give the previous bytes addresses there. Great. This is how my RAM is. Now, understand another point here. As we speak today, all of our modern day computers are run by specific type of operating systems. What do you mean to say, sir? What I mean to say is, as we speak today, we don't have something called as single tasking operating system today. In fact, what we have is, it is technically called as multitasking operating system. This is what we have today. That means while I'm using Facebook in my mobile phone, at the same time, can I also use WhatsApp? Absolutely, yes. While I'm listening to something on YouTube, will I also be able to make a UPI payment through Google Pay or Phone Pay on my mobile phone? Absolutely, yes. That means all of our modern day computers are not run by single tasking operating system. They're run by multitasking operating system. Is that clear, everyone? Now understand, when multiple tasks are being run concurrently, that means clearly for every single task on which memory device it is supposed to be placed while it is being used. I told you, I'm using Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Google Pay, gallery of my mobile phone, the camera application of my mobile phone. All of them, I'm using it simultaneously. That means, can you tell me where are all of these applications currently executing? 100% eyes closed. You have to remember this golden statement. Any program that is currently under execution, any application that is currently being used, 100% it should be residing on the RAM. Because if that application is under use, 100% CPU is able to give the CPU time to that particular application. And we know that the CPU or the microprocessor is not connected to the hard disk. It is only connected to the RAM. That means all of the applications should definitely be executing on the RAM. Out of all of those applications in the queue, I have got my Java program also that I'm expecting to be executed. So Java program also should be executed. That means it should also be loaded onto the RAM. Where is your Java program? Sir, I told you, this is only my Java program. This is the Java program. Now let us say on the RAM, maybe the first set of bytes, all of them are occupied by some application. So maybe let us say gallery application, Google Pay application. Some application is already occupying all of these bytes here. Great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means now, like I said, in the pipeline, I have also got my Java program that I want it to be executed. So you think an answer. Where should the program also be executing? Definitely on the RAM, because this thing is very fundamentally clear to us that the microprocessor or the RAM is only connected, the CPU or the microprocessor is only connected to RAM. It is not connected to hard disk. This is how it is connected through the bus connection. All of you know the story. Now, what is going to happen, sir? Immediately, the multitasking operating system is going to take this Java program and it is going to load it onto the RAM so that the program can be executed. Now, once the loading operation is completed, I have a simple question here. In my Java program, do you see I would like to store any data? 100% yes. I have this piece of information called as 25. Obviously, the 25 should be stored on the RAM. So immediately it is going to figure out, it is going to search, hey, do we have any vacant memory locations on the RAM? Yes, we do have. Let us say this byte also over here is occupied. These bytes are also occupied. So first thing, it is going to check, do we have any vacant memory location? Yes, we do have. The moment it is going to find, what would happen, sir? Immediately, it is going to store the data. So what was the data in your Java program? 25. As you can see, the 25, I have stored it on the RAM. Great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means Let us say in my program, in total, I have got around 1000 lines of code. 1000 lines of code. Now, this data that I have saved at the beginning of the program, 25, I want to read the same data and do some other arithmetic operations. No, I want the same piece of information. Sir, it's very simple, sir. It is 25, sir. Why can't you yourself directly write it? Who knows? In between, I would have also done some other operations on that particular piece of information. Maybe the value is not 25 anymore. You can never predict what would happen to a particular value over a period of time. In simple words, I would like to refer to the same information, same piece of data, 25 once again in my program. How to do it, sir? You think an answer. If you want to read this data, basically, I want this data 25 to be read once again in the program. How to do it, sir? You have got just one option here. You should remember the address of the memory location where the data has been stored. Tell me, what is the address of this memory location? 212 crores change. Do you think that is going to be humanly possible? 100% no. For two reasons. See, first and foremost, how will you know as a human being on the RAM out of 800 crore bytes, which bytes have been reserved to store this data 25? Do you have that Doraemon's, what I forgot the name of that tool, the miniature tool or whatever it is called as, so that you can become so small that you can go inside the RAM and you will be able to check, hey, this is the byte where my data is not possible. So two things. Firstly, we will not be able to figure out what the address is. Secondly, even if you are able to figure it out, remembering that address whenever you want to read that piece of data, it is definitely not humanly possible. So what is that we have to, sir? That is why all of the programming languages, this concept is not specific only to Java. You can take C, C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, Perl, Ruby, any programming language. Every single programming language has a common feature within it. And that feature is what we technically refer to as variables. Sir, but you tell me, sir, how is that variable is going to solve this problem? Sir, I can't remember the address. That is why what I will do within my program is very smartly. At the beginning itself, whenever I would like to store this data, see here itself, I would have told that this data 25, I would like to store it. I would like to store it. And see, there are two ways to access this data. I told you, either you have to remember the address. Now, what I would like to do is, I don't want to remember this address. To this address, I would like to assign something called as an alias. See, that is what I would like to do. I hope all of you know what is the English meaning of alias. It is basically alternative name. Either you can remember this address or I can also assign an alias. And what is that alias, sir? That alias, my friends, it is nothing but the variable. It is a nickname. Good, Rohit. So see, to this address, what I would like to do is, through my program, I would like to give a nickname to this. I would like to give an alternative name. What is it, sir? Maybe I would give the name to this address as A like this. And how are you going to do that within your program, sir? This is what I'm planning to do it. I would say this data 25, in whichever memory location it is going to be stored, whatever is going to be the address of that memory location, to that address, assign an alias called as A. That's what I've done. And in Java, it is a rule. This A is only technically referred to as a variable, and every variable in Java, before it is used, it should be compulsorily declared with a suitable data type. It depends on the type of value it is holding. Tell me, this variable A, which is an alias to this particular memory location, what type of data it is holding? 25 happens to be integer type of data. Congratulations. The declaration of the variable is also completed like this. Am I clear with this, everyone? Now that all of the diagrammatic representation is completed, now I'm going to state the definition of a variable. Looking at the diagram, it should be so simple and easy to remember. See, a variable, it is nothing but a name that is going to be given to a memory location on the RAM. A variable is nothing but a name given to a memory location on the RAM. Why, sir? Because we'll not be able to remember the addresses. Am I clear with this, everyone? Did all of you understand so far? I once again repeat, what is a variable? It is nothing but a name that is going to be given to a memory location on the RAM that would be holding certain value, that would be holding certain data. That itself is, my friends, is referred to as a variable. Now, in the future, whenever I want to read this data 25, now how many options Rohit has got? Two options. Either he can use the name, which is A, or he can also refer to the address. Is it possible to refer by the address? It is not possible. That is why in the program, whenever you want to read the same value, all that you have to do is refer to it by the variable name. So see, the moment I say A, what is going to happen, sir? Immediately it would go to the particular location. It is going to fetch the data 25, and that is what is going to be given to me. And now see, I will read that data. That means I would directly substitute the value of A within the print statement like this. And if I would do so, 100% on the console screen, it is going to print the value as 25 because that is the value the variable A is holding. Am I clear so far, everyone? Great. Now, listen to me, everyone. Sir, but why is this entity, programming entity, referred to as a variable, sir? Because understand this word called as variable has been derived from two different words. What are those, sir? The first word happens to be vary. The second word happens to be able. Anything that has the ability to vary over a period of time is what is technically referred to as a variable. Sir, we understood how it is derived, but how is that applicable to this programming entity? You will understand it. Observe this. See, let us say I don't need this data 25 anymore. And in the same memory location, the same byte, which is holding the data 25, I would like to replace it with some other data. I would like to overwrite it with some other data. Is it possible, sir? Yes. See, all that I'm going to do now is in my program, I would say, boss, look, this time I want to store the data 45. And to hold this value 45, please don't create a new variable. Anyways, I don't need whatever is there in the variable A. So replace that value itself. So see, I would take this 45, I would simply assign it to the variable A. Is this statement valid, sir? 100% yes, it is definitely valid. In that case, what is going to happen, sir? What would happen is it would immediately go to the memory location A. What was the data previously it was holding? 25. That is going to be deleted. It is going to be erased and it is going to hold the new data 45 like this. So tell me, this variable A, whatever data it was holding previously, was it fixed throughout the lifetime of the program? 100% no. Throughout the lifetime of the program, the data it is going to be holding 100%, it can be subjected to change. You can definitely change the value. That is the reason, my friends, why this programming element is technically called as variable, because it is not fixed. And now think and answer. In the next line, now if I would try to read the value of the same variable A, what do you think is going to be the output? Is it going to be 25 or 45? 25 is not even there in the memory, that has been deleted. Now the value is going to be 45. Am I clear, everyone? So tell me, how many times did I declare this variable? Declare means whenever you associate a data type with a variable. See, I've associated the data type with this variable only once at the time of creation. And in the rest of the program, whenever you're going to refer to the variable, see, did you refer to this variable A here also, and here also? Every time you refer to a variable, is it compulsory to once again declare it with the data type, sir? It is not needed. I mean, you don't have to do it. If you do it, you'll get a compilation error. That means a variable should be declared only once, and it can be used, it can be referred any number of times within a program. Congratulations. What you have understood is the concept of variables. I will just provide the definition here. It is a name given to a memory location on the RAM. That itself is the definition of a variable. Is that clear, everyone? Did all of you understand? Perfect. Now listen to this. Something that is pertaining to variables, some extra information is what we are going to be understanding. Now see, I told you that whenever you create a variable, it should be compulsorily declared with a suitable data type. Int, byte, short, long, float, double, char, boolean, string type, doc type, fan type. Basically, it should be associated with some type. Great. And see, this statement is what we technically refer to as the declaration statement whenever you try to declare a variable. This is our declaration statement. Next word, sir. I told you, how many times should we declare a variable within a program? Only once. Later, you can use it. So see, now I'm going to refer to the same variable A for which the bytes are going to be already reserved in the previous line. Now, in the memory location, I would like to store some data. Maybe the data happens to be 45 like this. Now, this is technically called as an assignment statement. We are trying to assign the value to this particular variable. Did you understand so far? Now, is it possible to do the both in a single line, sir? Absolutely, yes. Now, see, I would declare a variable in the same line, and in the same line, I would also assign the value to it. In that case, now what is this statement going to be called as, sir? Will this be called as declaration statement or assignment statement? Whenever you try to declare a variable at the same time, initialize it with some other with some value as initialization statement. Am I clear with this, everyone? What is a declaration statement? What is an assignment statement? And what is an initialization statement? This is referred to as initialization statement. Now, let us say, again, there are a few more conclusions with respect to variables because you will have questions related to this topic in tomorrow's assignment. Let us say I have to declare 3 integer variables in my program, int A, int B, and int C like this. Now you see all of the 3 variables belong to the same type, integer type. Then why do I have to declare every time each of these variables with the integer data type, integer data type? Is it possible to optimize this statement? Yes, it is. You can use the data type only once and you can declare a variable, but after which do not place a semicolon, place a comma. In that case, it would be applicable for all of the 3 variables like this, declaring multiple variables of the same type. Great, sir. Next what, sir? Next what means, now let us say, I want to assign a value to all of these 3 variables, or let us say I want to assign maybe, okay, if we declare multiple variables like this, sir, is it also possible to perform initialization? Yes, it is possible. See, here also we can tell int A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30. So declaring as well as initializing multiple variables is also possible. But now this is my expectation. I want to declare 3 variables of integer type, and all the 3 variables, I want to initialize all the 3 variables with the value 10. Is it possible to do it in a single line? Please respond to me, everyone. Good, Aditya. Aniket, there again, I've specified 10 three times. Is it possible to just assign it only once? No, all of you are suggesting, but it is actually not right. Pranav, I'm asking how to do it. Okay, listen to this, everyone. Some of you are suggesting to me, sir, this is how it should be done. Int A equal to B equal to C equal to 10. This is not going to work. You'll get a compilation error. How can you try to assign a value to a variable before it is declared? Where have you declared B and C? Sir, here, sir, how is it possible? You have used an assignment operator there. That means what we should do is, first we should declare all of the three variables like this. Next, what should we do, sir? Next, what we should do is, here we should tell A equal to B equal to C equal to 10. Sir, what kind of a weird statement is this, sir? Now, please understand something about the assignment operator here, which is the equal sign. We say this is going to be right to left associative. That means first right hand side and only then left hand side. This operator is working. So what would happen, sir? Ideally, first you're going to take the value 10, you will give it to C. And next you'll read the value of C, which is nothing but 10, that you will give it to B. And finally, then you're going to read the value of the variable B, which is of course 10. You will take it and you're going to assign it to the variable A. This is how the assignment operator is going to work. So is it possible to assign a common value to multiple variables? Absolutely yes. Can it be done in a single line? Not possible. It should be done at least in two lines like this. Of course, you can do it in a single line, provided the declaration is already done. Declaration statement, assignment statement, initialization statement, and also assigning, declaring multiple variables, and also assigning a common value to multiple variables. This is how it is going to be done. Did all of you understand so far? Everything about variables is what I've spoken. Okay, perfect. Right. Now, just have a look at whatever is on my screen and see if you have any doubts. If you have any doubts, please do let me know. If not, we'll proceed with the next topic. It's up to you, Aditya. If you want, you can consider it. Harsh, the file would be on hard disk. Whatever data would be present within the file, the code or anything of that sort, would be loaded onto the RAM. Okay. I am assuming you have no doubts related to the variables topic, so we can move forward. Now, listen to this statement, everyone, carefully. Can I make this statement? That all identifiers, or I'll put it across in a different way, that all variables are identifiers, but not all identifiers are variables. Do you agree with this statement? Sir, could you repeat it? I would definitely do it. I'll just write it over here. See, this is the statement that I'm trying to make here, that all variables, basically the name of the variables, are identifiers, but not all identifiers are variables. It might look like it is confusing, but if you read this statement once or twice, it would give you the necessary clarity. Would you agree with this statement, everyone? 100% yes, because for a variable, are you going to give a certain name? Yes. And in yesterday's class only I have told you, any name that is given by the programmer to a programming entity is what we technically refer to as an identifier. So all of your variable names are identifiers. But can we say all the identifiers are only variables? 100% no. A class name is an identifier. A method name is an identifier. The name of a package is an identifier. That is why this does not, that wouldn't hold good. And this is the right statement here. Am I clear so far, everyone? Perfect. Now, if you would like to take a screenshot of this, you can go ahead and take a screenshot. Everyone. Let's proceed now. Okay. Concentrate here. I'm just going to clear the screen. Now we are going to understand the next fundamental basic building block. What is it, sir? It is technically referred to as literals. Already in yesterday's class when I spoken about it, what are literals in Java? Now let us say I will just write a simple program over here. First, maybe I will have a simple print statement here wherein I would say, welcome to ExcelR. And or the statement is not needed. We'll do one thing, we'll just retain it. And here, let us say within my program, if I would say int a is equal to 10. Next, if I would say int b is equal to 20. Can you please identify as to how many literals do we have in this simple program code? Okay, good. Good, Lakshmi. Two. Good, Lavanya. TB. Those of you who are telling two, you need to think a bit. Shrikant. How many literals do I have in this simple code snippet that I have kept it in front of your eyes? Satyajit says 4. Where is the other one, Satyajit? Sneha, 0. Okay. I think first I'll have to give out the definition of what a literal is. Literals are nothing but the constant values that appear directly within your program. According to me, there are 3 literals that are present within this program. Now listen to this, everyone. This 10 that you see here, is it not a constant value that you have directly specified it within the program? Absolutely yes. It is an integer literal that we have. Next, we have got 20. It is another integer literal. And next, we also have this data, welcome to ExcelR. It is not an integer literal, but definitely it is a string literal. I asked in total, how many literals do we have within this particular program? We have got 3 literals that are present within this program. Is that clear, everyone? So once again, I repeat the definition. What are literals? Literals are the constant values that appear directly within the program. These constant values are only referred to as literals. Am I clear with this, everyone? Perfect, sir. Next word, sir. Next what means, see, I'm sure all of you would have seen this, and mostly you would have seen it in your passbooks, the passbook that is going to be issued by banks. Whenever you happen to go to a bank, you visit a bank to print your passbooks. So you would have seen, if at all you have a figure to be printed in the passbook that has got 5 digits or 6 digits. Do you see how the numbers, how the digits are going to be separated? Definitely, they're going to use commas to separate it. For example, let us say, if I would like to tell you this, that maybe I want to create a variable called as fees, and the value to this variable fees is going to be 25,000 rupees. See, this is one way of writing it, but some of them might get confused. Is it 25,000 or is it 250,000 or is it maybe 2,500? So what do we do? For the sake of readability, we place commas like this in our day-to-day life. This is how we do it. But if you ask me, is this statement valid in Java? 100% no, we will not be able to use such commas. But sir, if I have some large figures within my program, then what am I supposed to do, sir? Instead of comma, starting from Java 7 onwards, only for numerical literals, this is allowed only for numerical literals. See, the same statement can be written like this. You can tell 25. This 25,000 is basically a literal here. You will not be able to use the comma special symbol here, but instead of comma, you can definitely make use of underscore like this. Now, this was not always there. It was introduced in Java starting from the 7th version of Java. In this case, let us say if this is how the memory is going to be allocated for this variable fees on the RAM, how it is allocated, I don't have to explain it. You already know how it would be allocated. Sir, what is the data it is going to be holding, sir? Is it going to hold underscore also? No, it is only going to hold the data 25,000. Underscore is only inside your program. It is only for the sake of improving the readability of the program code. But is it going to have any impact on the magnitude of that value? Absolutely no. It is definitely going to be storing the value 25,000 itself like this. Am I clear? I hope you people remember yesterday when I was speaking about identifiers, I had told you that identifiers, within an identifier, 2 special symbols are permitted, dollar and underscore. But in case of literals, the only special symbol that is permitted happens to be underscore for the sake of improving the readability of the program code. This is all about literals at this point of time you should be aware of. Am I clear with this? So remember the definition of a literal. A literal is nothing but a constant value that appears directly within a program. That is what is technically referred to as a literal. Did all of you understand? I have reiterated multiple times to my YouTube students also. Please make sure you get connected over the Zoom meeting. The link is already sent in the live chat. No. If you take any input from the user, that is not going to be seen as a constant value in your program, Aditya. So that wouldn't be treated as a literal. Okay, perfect. Now we are done with literals also. Good speed. Now the next topic that we should be understanding is that I have spoken about. There are these symbols within your program where each symbol is going to perform a certain operation. These symbols are technically referred to as operators. For example, let us say I would like to add these two numbers 10 and 20, and the result is going to be an integer value that I would store it in a variable called as res, which is going to be of integer type like this. So tell me, what do you think res is going to be holding? Is it going to be holding 10 plus 20? It is going to be holding the result of 10 plus 20. This symbol that you see plus here, it is what is technically referred to as an operator, because it is performing a certain operation here. What is it, sir? 30. Addition operation. Great, sir. Next word, sir. This is one way of doing it. If you want, you can also do it this way. You can first store those two integer values separately in two different variables. Int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Now, later in the next line, you can simply tell whatever is there in a, which is of course 10. Please add it with whatever is there in b, which is of course 20. The result would be 30. This 30, store it in a variable called as res. Obviously, it should also be declared with a data type. It is going to be declared as integer type. So you see, these symbols can perform operations on values also, and they can perform operations on variables also. So what are operators? Operators are symbols that can perform operations on values or variables like this. Am I clear with this, everyone? And of course, what is this plus going to be called as? This is what is technically called as an operator. And to be very precise, what type of an operator is this? It is an addition operator. And see, the values this operator is operating on are technically referred to as operands. These are operands, whereas that symbol happens to be an operator. I hope this is very basic and you have learned about operators and operands in your schooling itself. So I don't have to dwell more into details here. Now, how many types of operators do we have, sir? We have got 3 different types of operators depending on the number of operands. I hope now you know what is the meaning of an operand. Clearly, I have written it on my screen. What are those, sir? There are something called as the unary operators. That means clearly these operators are going to need how many operands? Just a single operand. Similarly, there are also something called as the binary operators. It is there in the name. It would need minimum 2 operands for an operation to be performed. And finally, there is also the ternary operator. You should not use plural here because there is only one ternary operator in Java. Is it clear, everyone? If you want examples also can be provided. For example, the incrementation operator, the decrementation operator, like this, there are many more. These are the unary operators. Binary operators, for example, your arithmetic operators only are the binary operators. Multiplication, division, modulo. What about ternary operator? There is only one ternary operator, and that operator looks something like this. It is a question mark followed by colon. Technically referred to as ternary operator. It is also referred to as conditional operator. That's all. This is all about operators. What are operators? These are symbols that are going to perform certain operations on values as well as variables. And there are 3 different types of operators depending on the number of operands supplied: unary, binary, and ternary operator. Is it clear, everyone, so far? Can I erase this? Simple information about all of this. Finally, the last building block is what we should be discussing within a Java program, which is nothing but comments in Java. I had told you about this in yesterday's class itself, that what are comments? Comments referred to that extra description about your programming elements that you have provided within your program that should not be compiled. It should be ignored by the compiler. That is only for the sake of improving the readability within your program code. Such things are only technically referred to as comments. Okay, since it's exactly 8 o'clock, we'll take a small break for 5 minutes. And meanwhile, you can complete the attendance and the feedback for today. Amar sir?
Yes, I'm sharing the link.
Thank you, Amar sir. All of you, please provide the attendance and the feedback. Take a break for 5 minutes. Let us get back. And during the break, please complete your attendance and the feedback activity. The link has been shared in the chat. Please complete giving the attendance and the feedback for today's session. Right. Can we proceed, everyone? All of you, please get back. Okay. Question. Parvati, can you please state the difference between the SRAM and DRAM? Why all of a sudden this question, Parvati? I have already given the differences in the previous class. Anyways, dynamic RAM and static RAM, the difference lies in how each of the bits, not even byte, how each of the bits are going to be manufactured. It is based on that factor, it is going to be decided which one would be treated as dynamic RAM and which one would be treated as static RAM. I told you this, if you are going to create a bit using only transistors, then I think it is going to be considered as static RAM. If you make use of both transistors as well as capacitors to create one bit out of those 8 bits in 1 byte of your RAM, then it is going to be treated as the dynamic RAM. And where do we see dynamic RAM in our computers? The main memory, the primary memory of your computer is the dynamic RAM, and the cache memory that you have within your computer is an example of a static RAM. Okay. Let us proceed now. All of you, please listen to me. Is the screen visible? I think now it is visible. Now, please concentrate here. This is also very simple topic. Let us complete it fast. Now, already in yesterday's class, also I've told you water comments. Basically, this is that extra information apart from your code that you're going to write it within your program, so that it is going to once again improve the readability of your program code. For example, in yesterday's class, all of you, please look at here, look at this screen, everyone. Hardly another 45 minutes, the discussion would be done. Please concentrate here. We had created a class called as the addition class. I hope all of you remember in yesterday's program. And within the addition class, we had also created a method called as the void add method like this. Now, within the add method, we had also created the scanner object and many things. And there were also these variables int num1 equal to scan dot next int. This was also created. Like this, there were many things. Now see, about each of these entities here, I would like to specify some additional information. And that additional information is nothing but a raw English text, just like how two individuals would converse, not following the syntax of any programming language. That extra information should be specified as comments. What do you mean to say, sir? For example, see, here I'm going to tell that this class represents addition activity. This is what I would like to specify it here. And see, whenever you're not going to follow the syntax rules of a particular language, this statement should be treated as a comment. Literally, royally, it has to be ignored by the compiler. Then you have to inform to the compiler, this is a comment. How to do it, sir? Just go at the beginning of that statement and it should be preceded with 2 forward slashes like this. Immediately, compiler knows this is not a Java statement. It is a comment that I'm supposed to ignore it. Similarly, here maybe I would say, again as a comment, this method performs addition operation. This is another example of a comment. And maybe here I would like to specify that this variable holds first integer. Like this, you can specify a comment wherever you want within your program code. Am I clear with this, everyone? I once again repeat the definition of what are comments in any programming language. Comments refer to that additional information in your code that you have added to improve the readability of your program code. Great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means, now understand, it is at the same time important to notice that these comments are going to be ignored by the compiler at the time of compilation time. What do you mean to say, sir? For example, let us say this is one Java file that we have. See, let us say this file is going to contain the source code. I hope all of you know what is meant by source code. Basically, the high-level language code that is going to be written by the programmer is what we refer to as the source code. And here, see, in the source code, I would also say there are going to be comments that I have added. Obviously, we're going to add it in the comments. So source code with comments is what I would like to say. And since it is written in Java, obviously the extension of such files should be .java like this. And such files that are going to contain the source code are only technically referred to as a source file. Perfect, sir. This is how I am going to create as a programmer. But for the sake of execution, what I would like to do is I'm going to take this source file, the source code that is present within the source file, and I would give it as input to a software. What is the name of the software, sir? It is nothing but a Java compiler. And do we also know how to activate the Java compiler? Yes, it is by using the command javac. That is how we do it. And we also know what the output of the Java compiler is going to be. The output of the Java compiler is going to be the bytecode. See, it is going to be the bytecode. Observe this. So see, that is the output of the Java compiler. It is going to contain bytecode, and such a file would always have the extension of .class. And of course, we know such files are also technically called as class files. Just like how your high-level language code file is referred to as source file, the output of the Java compiler, which is containing bytecode, it is referred to as a class file. Now, my question is, when you open that bytecode, are you going to find any information that you had previously specified as comments within your source file? Do you think you will be able to find that information? Yes or no? Within your bytecodes, within your class file, will you be able to see such information that you had previously specified as comments? Very good. Somehow all of you are right. I don't know, maybe if it is fluke or what. Very good. This is what I was trying to highlight it here. Your bytecodes are going to be without any information that was specified as comments. So that is why they say the Java compiler is going to ignore the comments at the time of compilation. Hence, the output of the Java compiler will not have any information that was previously described as comments. Am I clear with this, everyone? Perfect, sir. This also about comments we have been able to understand. Next what, sir? Next what means there are different types of comments. Can you tell me how many different types of comments do we have in Java? Simple question. I want all of you to participate. It should not be a very dry session, that one-way communication. No, I appreciate Rohit, Akshay, Aditya, Purva, all of these students here. The kind of interaction they're trying to keep with me from the beginning of the class. Sita, what are those? How many different types of comments do we have? Niket, what are those? I've not yet got the correct answer from any of you. Now, how come all of you are wrong for the first time? Okay. Anyways, I think this information is new to all of you. That is why you're not able to now concentrate here. In total, in Java, there are 3 different types of comments. What are those, sir? Listen to me. That's why I told you. The first one is called as single line comments. That means it is there in the name itself. This comment is just going to be a single line comment. It won't span over multiple lines. Observe this, everyone. For example, here I would say, this is a single line comment. And how to represent single line comments, sir? Very simple. The syntax remains the same. It should simply be preceded with 2 forward slashes at the beginning. That is how it is supposed to be done. Good, Parvati. Next word, sir. Just like single line comments, there are also these comments technically referred to as multi-line comments. No, Akshay, it is not yet completed. You have to wait. I told you 3 types. What are these multi-line comments, sir? Maybe I have such huge information that I want to specify it as a comment, but it is not possible to fit in a single line. Obviously, it is going to span over multiple lines. How, sir? This is how it is going to be. For example, let us say here I would say this maybe is a multi-line comment. So as you can see, it is spanning over 3 lines. So what do we have to do, sir? You have got 2 options. Either go to every single line and keep proceeding with a forward slash like this. Very time consuming. If there are 30 lines, are you telling me you have so much time in life that you would go at the beginning of every single 30 line and you're going to add these 2 forward slashes? Time consuming it is. So what do we have to do, sir? That is why there is an alternative syntax for multi-line comments. This is how it is supposed to start with: forward slash followed by star, and at the end, in the exact opposite order, you're supposed to close it. Star followed by forward slash like this. This is the syntax of multi-line comments. Am I clear with this, everyone? Perfect. Now in Java, we also have special types of comments technically referred to as, listen to this, everyone, documentation comments. What do you mean to say, sir? Now see, it is important for all of you to know what is meant by documentation. For any programming language, for any framework, any tool that is going to be released for the entire programming community to use, to understand how to use that language, how not to use it, what are the syntax rules about a particular language, every single programming language creator has given something called as the documentation for that particular programming language. I mean, see, Nowadays, you guys as young graduates, you have online courses, you have YouTube tutorials. In fact, you have also got textbooks these days. Back then, if a new framework or a tool is going to be introduced, immediately the next day itself, nobody is going to create a course around it and nobody is going to simplify it, that you are going to easily understand everything. So how would all of these developers in the industry are going to are going to understand how to use a particular framework, a API, a tool, a programming language? Like I said, for every single thing, there would be a documentation that would be created by the team that has created that particular language or framework. Now, sir, are you telling for Java also, do we have the documentation available? Yes, see, if you notice it here, let me just show a sample documentation for one of the inbuilt classes. We have been using the scanner class. Understand this? See here, I would say scanner class Java, some random version I would type here. The first link, see, as all of you can see here, the first thing that you're able to see here, it is docs.oracle.com. That means basically it is a documentation. The moment I click on this link, you're able to see entire history, entire story about this class called as the scanner class. In which package it is present, in which module it is present, who is the parent class, from what interfaces it is implementing, what is this class supposed to be used for. That entire description is going to be provided. And if I scroll down, you will see how many constructors do we have within this particular class, how many methods do we have in this class. All of that, as you can see, you're clearly able to notice it here. This itself is referred to as documentation in Java. This is nothing but the documentation. Now, sir, how did this documentation was created, sir? It is not that separately James Gosling created Java. Separately, he created all of these HTML pages. Whenever he was trying to create a class, all of this information, you will be shocked to know, all of these are comments. This is literally comment. But it is not a single line comment or multi-line comment. This is such a comment that should be in the future, it should be used to generate this documentation. These comments are technically called as documentation comments. And who is going to process these documentation comments? Understand this? All of these documentation comments are going to be processed by a tool in Java called as Java Doc. And it is this tool that is responsible for creating those HTML documentation web pages, just like about the scanner class, however I have shown it. Am I clear? Now, what is the syntax to specify the documentation comment? This is the syntax. Observe this, everyone. As usual, just like multi-line comment, it is going to be like this. And in every line, it should be followed with a star like this. So here you can tell this is a doc comment, and maybe somewhere here you're also going to tell who the author is. Maybe author is James, which version you're using to create that particular class, maybe 1.8. Something like this is what it is going to be mentioned. If you know what documentation comments, which tool is going to process, how the syntax is going to look like, that is going to be more than enough. Perfect. So we are officially done with the comments topic also. Any questions? So what are comments? Comments are that additional information that is going to be specified as raw English text within your program. Now, every line would not be preceded with 2 stars. It is going to be preceded with a single star. This is how documentation comments are going to be look like, and it is going to be processed by this tool called as Java Doc. Are we done with this as well? So congratulations, all of the fundamental basic building blocks of a Java program, starting from keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and comments. Everything, though maybe we have not got in depth for a specific topic. For example, in operators only, there are so many different types of operators: logical operators, relational operators, bitwise operators. But I have been able to at least explain to you what each of these basic building block is. what is meant by keywords, what is meant by identifiers, what is meant by operators, literals, comments, variables, and many more information is what I have been able to convey here. Is it clear, everyone? Right. Now, immediately, without wasting any more time, we have got 35 minutes, good enough amount of time to utilize. Let us immediately start with the next topic here. See, I had told you the other day, what is the fifth principle of object orientation states? Let me delete everything for comments here. I'm asking something. Tell me the fifth principle of object orientation. Good. See, this is what I had told you, that every object is going to have two parts. All of you, please look at here, everyone. Every object is going to have two parts, the has part and does part. See, this is the has part. This is our does part. I had also told you that has part is also referred to as state or properties of an object. Does part is also referred to as behavior or activities performed by the object. Perfect. But most importantly, how do we handle has part in Java? Good. It is handled using a concept called as fields. What are fields? These are nothing but variables. That is what I told you. Next, how do we handle does part in Java? Using something called as methods, or the same thing is also referred to as functions. And now see, I will come to methods or functions later. Now let us concentrate about this entity here. I want to understand more about this concept called as fields. Tell me, what are fields? They're nothing but variables. What is a variable? It is a name given to a memory location on the RAM that we have been able to understand in today's class itself. But I also remember telling, whenever you want to declare a variable, every single variable within your program, it should be compulsorily declared with something called as a data type. Now, what really is a data type? That is what we are trying to understand. Did you understand? Every single variable should be declared with a specific data type. What is a data type? Why do we have to use it within our program? Is what we should be understanding. So here goes a question to all of you immediately. You have got 10 seconds. I need a response from each one of you. There are 253 students currently in the session here. Why do we need something called as a data type? Because I am not a person who would immediately go out and give out the definition. What is a data type? The best way to learn any programming language, not now, after 30 years also, if you understand the why factor behind every single concept, things are going to become a lot easier for you. My question is not what is a data type. Why do we need something called as data types? That is what I'm trying to understand. Please be quick. To determine, to specify. Okay. To specify the type of data refers to the type of data. Okay. I don't expect any Google's copy pasted answer here. I can easily make the difference. Still not yet got the answer that I'm looking for. Type of value. Make difference between different data formats. Okay. Distinguish the types of. to allocate specific memory. Okay, okay. No, I've not yet got the answer that I'm looking for even from a single student. Knowing how much memory should be allocated, how many bytes the variable can store. No, not even a single person. The answer that I'm looking for. This is surprising. See, I'm not denying all of your answers are not right here, but I'm not getting the primary purpose of why this concept was introduced in every single programming language. I'm not able to see. I understand to specify the type of the data variable is holding, to specify the number of bytes that should be reserved on the RAM. All of that is absolutely correct. But I'm still looking for a specific definition here that I have not yet got it. Anyways, first I would like to convey to you, before I go ahead and tell you why we need something called as data types in a programming language, a common feature. Speak about C, C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, any programming language. Do we have this common concept called as data types across different programming languages? Yes, we do have. Why do we need data types? That is something that I did not get an answer for. Anyways, I will first tell you, as a software engineer, as a Java developer, what would happen to the projects that you will be working on if you lack sufficient understanding about this concept called as data types? That is what I'm going to explain first. So try and understand this clearly. Once again, I'm setting the context here. I'm trying to first convey to you what would happen to an individual who lacks complete understanding about this fundamental topic called as data types. Then what consequences would be faced by the company? What consequences are going to be faced by the project? That is what you're trying to understand. Sir, I want to know what would happen to me, sir, if I don't know how to make use of data types within my program. Understand, that is what I'm trying to teach you here. I would like to play a video through which I would convey to you what would happen if you lack sufficient understanding about this topic called as data types. Listen to this, everyone. Concentrate here. See. As you can see, I'm not trying to play a video that I have created. I have edited according to my will and wish. This is something that is on a public platform, YouTube. You can also get to see it. I hope the sound would be visible, would be audible. I would just play it for 5 seconds. Please confirm to me if the audio is coming to you. If not, I'll check what settings have to be changed. Just
By the early hours of the morning of the 4th of June, Ariane 5 stood proudly on ELA 3, waiting for the final countdown.
Are you able to hear the sound? Okay, perfect, perfect. So I'll now leave it to you and the video here. You have to watch it.
No one would sleep much that night. They never did before any launch. The skies opened again, and the tropical rain poured down over the rocket. There were doubts if it would be able to launch the next day. Its prospects looked poor. By the next morning, the forecast had improved slightly. A final decision to go was taken.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, unité, feu. Allumage. Décollage. où les paramètres propulsifs sont normaux et la trajectoire est normale.
37 seconds into the launch, the onboard computers decided 501 was 90 degrees off course. They made an automatic adjustment to the trajectory as the rocket was traveling at the speed of sound. A well-rehearsed civil defense evacuation began immediately as clouds of toxic fumes enveloped the surrounding area.
Anyways, it's on YouTube. You can go and watch the complete video. Even today also in many of the universities for the computer science projects, we use this Ariane 5 rocket case as one of the case studies. But sir, what really happened, sir? I mean, what led to the explosion of the rocket? There is a huge documentary. There are articles available on the internet in detail who have explained. You can go and read it. I have summarized the major points, the reason behind the explosion of this rocket, and I have created a report for you. Just read it and then you will realize what was the reason behind. Just a minute. No, I'm not able to locate the file where I have saved it in my computer. Anyways, I'll just summarize it for you. See, just like how we have ISRO and there is NASA in USA, there is this agency, European Space Agency. We call it as ESA. It is another space-related research organization. So I think it was in early 1990s that they decided to launch this rocket into the space. You would have noticed that the moment this rocket went into the space, I think exactly after 37 seconds or so, it is told in the video that onboard computers decided. Basically, computer means it is the software that decided that the rocket should not be let to go into the outer space. Immediately, it should be exploded. It should be terminated. That is what the computers decided. Why, sir? Because it was clearly 90 degrees off its actual trajectory path. And what led for this, sir? The fool who designed the software for this rocket lacked an understanding about something called as integer overflow. Clearly, you see, when you go and read the report about Ariane 5 rocket, you will see this word is going to be highlighted. And trust me, it is considered as one of the most expensive software bugs in the entire history of mankind. Resulted in some hundreds of millions of dollars back in 1990s. I mean, it is not an easy task. I hope all of you understand, right? Working on such revolutionary projects and designing a rocket, launching it, and then it turns out to be in bits and pieces in the atmosphere. This is the price which the software engineers, which the computer scientists are going to pay. In worst case, at least here it is just monetary loss. If you don't have thorough understanding about this topic called as data types, it can also result in human losses. How is it possible, sir? I don't know how many of you have seen these cancer treatment machines in hospitals. Basically, it is a laser that is going to be going and treating the cancer within your body. there is a certain frequency at which the radiations have to be penetrated within your body. And who is going to decide all of that? Who's going to monitor all of that? It is the softwares. Now, if you don't have sufficient understanding about this concept called as data types, overflow, data underflow, definitely it is going to result in huge losses. This is what is going to happen. Sir, that is great, sir. We understood it is an important topic, but you said you're not yet convinced as to why do we need something called as data types in a programming language. Now, that is what I'm going to be explaining. It is going to take minimum 20 to 30 minutes for this entire explanation to be completed. Only the introduction of this topic called as data types. I want all of you to pay close attention. If you think this is like another space related movie also, I don't mind, but try to understand this thing correctly so that for the rest of your life, today it is me, tomorrow it could be some other trainer, anybody in your future, if they are going to ask you this question, why do we need something called as data types, immediately this should be the answer that should be coming out of your mouth. Anyways, now why do we need it, sir? That is what I'm trying to explain here. Please concentrate. Let me delete this. Let us say maybe I am interested in creating a job application. I'm sure all of you have at least, I mean, if you have not used it, very soon you're going to use it at least after your graduation. I want to create a job application just like Naukri.com, Monster.com, Indeed.com, LinkedIn Jobs. Such similar kind of an application is what I would like to build. What is the definition of an application or a software? Nothing but collection of programs. What is a program? Set of instructions. And how do you write those instructions? Using a programming language. So obviously, now that I have set out to build a job application, first and foremost, I have to decide upon what programming language am I going to be using. See, I have decided I'm going to be using Java to create this job application. That is what I have decided. An app is what I'm trying to build here. Now you think and answer. Whenever you have to log into any of the job applications, there is going to be tons and tons of information that is going to be sought from you. Can you please tell me what are the different types of information that you have to be signing up with whenever you want to create your profile on any of the job applications? Just randomly, you can help me out here. Am I audible, everyone? I'm asking something. Good, Lakshmi. Definitely, the name of the candidate is something that the application would be looking for. Next. Okay, one by one. I once again see there are, to the YouTube audience also, it is better if you can join on Zoom. It is going to be much easier for you to understand the topic. What else? Of course, the age of the candidate is going to be asked. The gender of the candidate is going to be asked. The phone number is something that is going to be asked. Good. Address also might be needed. What else? See, the more you participate and interact, you will understand a lot of things about data types, which, trust me, in the past, you have no information about all of these things. Okay, email ID, good. Your email ID would also be asked. Next, your CGPA in graduation, the overall aggregate, that is also something that is going to be asked. Next, of course, okay, qualification is also something that they might ask for. Next, I don't know how many of you have seen it these days. Whenever you apply for a company, of course, this option is not there for freshers. For experienced people, it is going to be there. You can choose the interview slot, maybe on 13th of October between 2:30 to 3:30. If a slot is available, you can also block it. So see, the interview slot also can be another field. Next, please be quick. Okay, the expected CTC, the salary that you're expecting would also be asked. For freshers, usually you will not see this field. You should simply agree whatever the company is offering to you. What else? Your year of graduation, year of passing is also something that is going to be asked. Very good, very good. Okay. Of course, the skills that you have, that is also going to be asked. Good, Gurudevi. They would also ask you to upload your resume. Very good. Of course, at the beginning, here they would also ask you to upload your photo, beautiful photo, the one that is there in your Aadhaar card. That is also something that would be asked. And I don't know how many of you know this. These days, there are these options in the resumes where you can create your self-introductory video, maybe 120 seconds to 180 seconds long video, 2 to 3 minutes of video, where you're going to explain about yourself, give a self-introduction about yourself. I am so and so. I've completed my graduation from so and so college. This is my aggregate. These are the skills that I have. These are the different projects that I have completed. This is my GitHub profile. This is my LinkedIn profile. All of that you're going to speak about it in a video. So is it possible to upload your video resume also? Yes. And trust me, your video resumes are going to have a lot of positive impact on the recruiters. This is something that you can also upload it. Next, anything else that I've missed out here? Okay, more or less, I think I've covered most of the factors here. I mean, we are not trying to create a proper job application just for the sake of an example. Great, great. Next word, sir. Next word means, of course, you would be feeding data to all of these fields here. So let me just show them as fields so that things are going to make sense. Show some fields kind of boxes here so that you know all of this data is what is being expected. Now observe this. Can you tell me for name, what type of data you're going to be providing it? I'm asking something, everyone. Please participate. I don't know about all of you, but definitely I am excited because he is somebody who has told that out of 250 students, he has not got a single response that has convinced him as to why we need something called as data types in a programming language. Obviously, I would be interested in knowing what out of the world answer that he has got. Good. All of you are telling it is going to be character type of data. Absolutely correct. So see, I would say it is going to be character or series of characters it is going to be. So here I would simply tell it is going to be string type of data. What about age? Very good. It is going to be integer type data. Next, gender, usually you have to give just one character, either M or F. So here I would say it is going to be character type data. Next, address is once again string type of data. Email ID is string type of data. Coming to CGPA. CGPA could usually be 9.6, 8.4. Basically, it is a number that would also have the decimal part. So here I would say it is a real number type data. I hope all of you know in mathematics, there are some numbers called as real numbers, just like whole numbers. Qualification is again series of characters. Interview slot, here it is going to be date or time type of data. That is what I would like to call it as. Next, expected CTC, once again, integer type of data. Year of passing, integer type of data. Skills, it is again string type of data. Resume, I would say it is a text file type of data. Great. Next word, sir. Next word means sometimes in the job applications, it would also be asked if you're interested in undergoing post-graduation. See, I would simply tell PG. Do you want to take a post-graduation later, or are you married or not? That would also be asked. And they would maybe ask you whether you're applying as a fresher or an experienced graduate. Basically, all of these are yes or no type of questions. Interested in post-graduation? Are you married or not? Are you a fresher or an experienced person? Do you have any active backlogs or not? Because how can they miss this? It is a means of pride for we engineers. If we don't have backlogs, that means we did not really graduate. Anyways, I'm just kidding. So all of this is what type of data, if you ask me, all of this happens to be yes or no type of data. Some of you are telling Boolean here. I am not talking anything technically here. It is just in general, I'm trying to analyze. a job application that is going to be created. Am I clear with this, everyone? So you see, there are a lot of varieties of data here. So what I would like to do is, I would like to consider the different varieties of real world data. Can you please tell me what are the different types of real world data that we have so far identified here? I mean, it is there on your screen. You just have to participate. Firstly, we identified there is something called as integer type data. It seems great. There is also this real number type data. It seems that is going to have decimal point. There is also this character type of data. It seems. Okay. Next, we also have the yes or no type of data. It seems perfect. Perfect. Now, along with this, there is also some other type of data. You see, there is this string type of data. Trust me, nobody is going to explain you the way I would introduce you the topic of data type. So if you are going to lose focus, if you think you're trying to fool me, I am sorry, I would just keep a mirror in front of you. You're trying to fool yourself. Such an important topic it is. String type of data. What else type of data would you be seeing? Maybe there would also be another type of data called as group type of data, where I don't want one integer, maybe I want 50 integers to be collected. Of course, it is not going to be relevant to job application, but at this point of time, I am trying to jot down all of the different varieties of real world data, whichever application you have come across, please put it across here. Next, any other type of data, date and time type of data that we have missed. Next, text file type of data. It could be PDF document, it could be a .txt file, it could be a MS Word file. So all of that is going to be considered here. Good. Audio type of data. Maybe let us say you're auditioning for Indian Idol. You want to make the judges hear your beautiful voice. So you're going to send a recorded audio clip. You could also make a video resume. So video type data is also something. Anything else that I've missed here? Rajneesh, I'm discussing a topic out of the context. You're asking me something else. Anyways, okay. Now see, please tell me if I have missed any other type of data. Oh, image I have missed. All right. Okay. I'm really sorry about it. So the still picture type of data, nothing but image. Under image, you get all of the GIF and everything else. Okay. I want all of you to please think. I'm asking something. It doesn't matter a job application itself. Whichever app you speak about, is there any other type of data that as the user of the application that you have provided as input to that particular application? So if you're thinking only about job application, that is what I'm trying to tell you. Come out of that context. In general, we have decided to sit at one place and jot down all of the different types of data that any application could be receiving it from the user. Harshikesh, email I have already considered, man. It is a string type of data to my program. Any other type of data, please be quick, everyone. It is already 8:53. There is a lot more for me to discuss. Documents, Farsana, that is what I told you. The what is a text file type of data. Rohit, QR is nothing but an image, so that is also taken into consideration. No, I don't know. You're not understanding. Some of you are telling phone number. You see, that phone number is nothing but integer type of data. I have already considered. That is the first thing here. In the real world, would you come across any other type of data other than whatever I have mentioned it here? Some of you might tell, sir, I would give my location. I don't know how many of you know the math behind. Location is basically your coordinates. There is a longitude value. There is a I don't know, latitude value, whatever it is. So basically, those are also not basically numbers. That's all. Is there any other type of data other than whatever I have mentioned it here in real world? Okay. See, according to me, there is no other type of data. Everything is this streaming data. What is it? What does that mean, Krishna? Video, audio, image, all of the three I have considered here. Now see, if you notice it here, both of these categories of data, I've written it separately because the first category here that you see, Rohit, integer, real number, character, yes or no, all of this is very simple and easy to handle data. Such data, in technical terms, we call it as primitive data. This is bit complicated. String type of data, date and time type of data, text file, audio, image, video. Basically, your image is nothing but a collection of pixels where each pixel has a RGB value. Bit complicated to handle. This is technically called as non-primitive type of data. Non-primitive data. Are you understanding so far, everyone? Wonderful. So far, what foundation that I have built here is there can be such applications to which, while the users are using, listen to me carefully, everyone, please, it's a humble request. While the users are using the application, there is this different varieties of abundance of data that is going to be fed as input to your applications. Do all of you agree with this? This is what I have been able to set the foundation so far. Perfect, sir. We understood. Now let us go back to something very fundamentally that we have understood throughout our previous classes. What is that? Every time anybody, any user wants to use any application, for example, in my mobile phone, if I have to use, let us say, Instagram in my mobile phone, can you please tell me, while I'm using Instagram in my mobile phone, where is Instagram going to be residing on my mobile phone? While the Instagram is being used, while it is in use, very good, 100% correct, Purva. It would be residing on the RAM of my mobile phone or RAM of my computer. I think there is no doubt with respect to this particular statement. Right, Ganga Prasad? Now understand this. That is what I would like to speak now. See, everyone, you will yourself realize there is such an important missing link. See, this is only a RAM. And can anybody tell me here quickly, how do you define what is a RAM? It is nothing but collection of bytes. So see, I don't want to waste a lot of time here. Basically, we have a byte like this. There are collection of bytes. And the other day, I also remember telling this, that Harsh, every byte is composed of how many bits? It is going to be composed of 8 bits. So observe this. This one byte, it is going to be partitioned into 8 slots like this, where each slot is technically called as a bit. And the other day about this bit also I've spoken in detail. Can you tell me why this is called as a bit? Because very simple, it will either be able to hold a 0 or a 1. Basically, it is going to hold a binary digit. That is what is called as a bit. That means, what am I trying to tell you here, my friends, is, boss, on the RAM, which is nothing but collection of bytes, each byte will be able to hold only data in the binary format like this, 1, 0, see, something like this. Either a 0 or a 1 is what you will be able to store like this. Do all of you agree with this? Perfect. Now, what I have been able to set the base here is, on one end, listen to me carefully. You will realize where you are actually stuck in. On one end, we are talking about such apps, such applications that can collect so many different types of data that you have yourself helped me mention all of this data, the different types of data. But on the other end, now we realize, boss, when I will be using this job application in my mobile phone, in my computer, where is it going to be executing? It would be executing on the RAM. And now we just now realize that on the RAM, the only type of data that is going to be permitted is the binary data. It is a 0 and a 1. Apart from that, you will not be able to store anything. Hey, at least now, did you realize what am I trying to highlight here, where there is a missing link between these two? Absolutely, yes. While the application is using, from the user, see, from the user, you're going to be receiving all of these varieties of data to your program. And where is your program executing? On the RAM. But on the RAM, what is the only type of data that is going to be permitted? Zeros and ones. But are you taking zeros and ones from the user? No. Just now, some of you were telling, sir, phone number, email ID, different varieties of data. Because when you're taking all of those varieties of data, how is it going to be converted into zeros and ones, and how is it going to be stored on the RAM? Congratulations if you have understood so far correctly. Now see, that is why every single programming language, doesn't matter whether it is a procedure oriented, whether it is a functional oriented programming language, object oriented programming language, has a common feature given by the inventors, the creators of those programming languages. And that feature, my friends, is only referred to as data types. Now, why do we need data types? The answer lies in front of your eyes. Data types are going to be needed in a programming language to convert real world data into the binary format so that it can be stored on the RAM, hence it can be processed by the microprocessor. This was the definition that I was expecting. Unfortunately, all 200 plus audience here, all of you have failed to provide this definition to me. You have told it is used to specify the type of data. It is used to specify the number of bytes, the memory location on the RAM. All of that is correct. But what is the primary reason behind this topic called as data types, behind this feature of programming language? It is going to be used to convert the real world data into the binary format. Now, I don't have so much of time to go back and see. Actually, if you have told, great. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Did you people understand? I once again repeat, why do we need data types? Data types are provided in a programming language to convert the real world data into the binary format, because only if that real world data is going to be converted, that you are taking it from the user, you will be able to store the data in the memory and the microprocessor will be able to process that information. Now, some of you might tell maybe Rajni sure is going to tell me, sir, why do we need the data types to do this circus of converting real world data into binary data? Sir, whatever data, we are going to take it from the user. Whatever data, we will take it from the user. And directly, we will ask the user himself to provide the data in the binary format. Do you think that is practical? Not everybody who is using a software application is a technocrat. Technocrat means somebody who is going to have technical knowledge, technical information, understands technology. See, for example, you have this cab services app, right? It could be Ola, Uber, it could be Blue Smart, whatever the cab services apps that you have. More than the passengers, who is going to use it more often? It is those cab drivers. Now, do you think those cab drivers are technocrat? They're going to be technically literate, that they understand. Once, let us say, if Bhavish Agarwal, I'm assuming he's one of the founders of Ola, if he would invite all of the cab drivers in one auditorium and he's going to make an announcement, hey, look, people, I have created a wonderful application. It is an interface between the driver and the passengers. It is going to help both of you connect together. Obviously, there is going to be a certain commission that the company is going to be taking, but moreover, end of the day, it is going to benefit you. Or cab drivers are all excited, but then he is going to tell you, look, man, this is a software application which should be running on mobile phones, on computers. But whenever an application is under execution by the CPU, it would be residing on the RAM. And on the RAM, what you will be able to take the data, what type of data you will be able to store is only zeros and ones. It is the binary data, because RAM happens to be a semiconductor technology device. So you please make sure, now that all of you are going to sign up on Ola app by creating your profile, the driver profile, please make sure your name, if it is Rajnikant, don't give it as RAJNIKANT. Please make sure you're going to convert it into binary, and that binary data should be given. Your phone number, don't give it in integer format, give it in zeros and ones. Your address, give it in zeros and ones. Your photo also give it in zeros and ones. Immediately, all of those 500 cab drivers, they will take some other material in their hand and they'll start looking for the founder. Do you think they are going to agree to these conditions? They would say, man, your company, your cabs, you only drive. We are not interested in this. That means always to the users of your applications, you should make sure you give them the liberty to provide the data to the application in the format they are most comfortable with. You should not demand that you have to give the data in the binary format itself. This is something that is not right. My name, I am more comfortable giving it in the form of characters to you. My age, I would give it in the form of integer to you. That is what I am more comfortable with. You should make sure you have the mechanism to read the data. Once you have read it, you should convert it, you should store it, you should process it. That headache is up to you. Am I clear with this? And who is going to do that job for us, sir? It is none other than what we refer to as data types in a programming language. Is that clear, everyone? Now, what are the data types that are available, sir? See, to handle this integer type of data, listen to me. I'm going to wrap it up in another exactly 8 minutes. But this is such an important information here. To handle integer type of data, handle means convert to binary. Observe this, to handle integer type of data. In Java, James Gosling has in total provided to us 4 different data types. What are those, sir? In the form of byte, short, int, and long. Sir, why 4, sir? There is something called as patience. After all, this is the introduction of this topic. If trailer itself is like this, just imagine how the movie is going to be. 1,000 crores is nothing. Anyways, now concentrate here. Similarly, to handle real number type of data, what are the data types which Java has provided to us, sir? 2 data types in the form of float and double. To handle character type of data, the data type Java has provided happens to be char. To handle yes or no type of data, the data type Java has provided happens to be Boolean. And all of these, my friends, are technically called as primitive data types. They're going to handle primitive type of data. Did you understand so far? Perfect. Sir, what about non-primitive data, sir? How can Java handle non-primitive data? To handle non-primitive data, Java has got non-primitive data types. What is that, sir? It is nothing but your inbuilt classes. Because by using inbuilt classes, we will be able to handle the non-primitive type of data. For example, sir, how can we handle string type of data, sir? To handle string type of data, James Gosling has given you 3 classes: string, string buffer, and string builder. Basically, here I would say there are string related classes that are provided to us. Sir, how to handle grouped type of data? Can I handle it using primitive data types, chota mota data types? Not possible. Group type of data, either you can handle it in the form of arrays, or there is also the collections API that is present. You can use that. To handle date or time type of data, there is a separate API called as date time API. You can use that. To handle text file type of data, there is this file API that you can be using. Audio, video, and image type of data, there are these Java media framework that you can be using it. Basically, there are inbuilt classes. The support is available using which you will be able to handle such type of data also. Am I clear with this, everyone? Now the last information is, how is that all of these data types are going to take the real world data and convert it into binary format? Each of the data type is going to follow a certain format. I would say format followed by data types. For example, sir, what is the format which is followed by byte, short, int, long? Basically, integer data types. The format it is going to follow is a format which we technically refer to as base 2 format. That is what it is going to follow. Sir, what about float and double, sir? It is going to follow a format called as IEEE 754 single precision and double precision format. That is what it is going to follow. Sir, what about character data type, sir? Either it is going to follow the ASCII format or it is going to follow the Unicode format. What about Boolean, sir? This varies from platform to platform. That is why here I would simply tell it is a JVM dependent format. String related classes, strings are nothing but collection of characters. So once again, either ASCII format or the Unicode format. Arrays or collections API, it depends on the data structure. So here I would say depends on what type of data structure you're using. Data structure dependent. Date or time API. Just a second. The format it is going to be following is for a date, this is the format. It is going to be DDMM YYY, and for a time it is HHMM SS like this. For audio type, next what we have is text file type of data. For text files, we have got .txt as format. Next, we have got .docs as another format. Next, we have got .pdf as another format. Like this, there are many formats. Basically, formats indicate there is a certain procedure where the format is going to use to convert the real world data into the binary format. Next, for audio type, what is the format that we have? We have got .mp3. Next, what do we have? We have got .avi. Like this, there are many other formats. For video type, we have got .mp4. We have got .wav. I'm not really sure whether it is for audio or video. I'm confused. Anyways. Next, for image, we have got .png. We have got .jpeg. We have got .gif. Like this, there are different formats that are available. Am I clear with this, everyone? So using these formats, it is these data types that are going to convert the real world data into the binary format. And once it is stored in the binary format, definitely your microprocessor will be able to process that particular piece of information. Congratulations, you have successfully understood the why factor behind this feature of programming language called as data types. Henceforth, if I would ever ask you, maybe let's say you're walking somewhere and on the road, and I suddenly meet you, hey, you're Harsh, right? And I immediately catch you and I ask you this, why do we need data types in a programming language? Your first and instant response should be, data types are provided in a programming language to convert the real world data into the binary format. Only then it will be possible to store it in the memory, and it will also be processed by the microprocessor. This is the reason behind. Did all of you understand everything? Any confusions? Why do we need data types? Now, at least did you understand? See, whatever I had written it on the paint screen, I know maybe the diagram was not that neat and clear. That is why I've also done my homework in terms of preparing the presentation. It's a beautiful presentation. Once again, I would advise all of my students, please do not share anywhere on social media. Don't even post it on LinkedIn. This is my effort, so I don't want anybody else to start using it. It has definitely taken a lot of time. See, whatever I have explained. So if you want, you can take a quick screenshot of this for your reference in the future, only for educational purposes. You don't have my consent to share it on social media. Is it done? Did you people take a screenshot? Perfect then. All right then, people, we are done for the day. And tomorrow, what are we going to discuss? There is something exciting that I would like to do in tomorrow's class, since it is also the last class as well, which is as of today, theoretically, I have been able to convince to you that data types are going to be used to convert real world data into the binary format. Tomorrow, there is a proper mathematical calculations that are going to be done by the computer. I will teach you literally how real world data is going to be taken by the computer, how using this concept of data types, it is going to be converted into the binary format. Those calculations is what we're going to be doing in tomorrow's class. And of course, I've also told you there is going to be a final assessment that would be conducted tomorrow. So please be prepared for it as well. It is going to have an impact on whether or not you're going to receive the certificate after attending this program. All right, then I am done from my end. If you have any questions pertaining to today's class or any of our previous classes, you can please go ahead, and I would open the forum for doubt clarification now. If you don't have any doubts, thank you so much for attending today's session and for bearing me more than 2 hours now. And please do connect tomorrow also, sharp at same time at 7 o'clock. The class is going to start. Thank you so much, Rohit. Means a lot. Yep, tomorrow is last day. Any other questions? Akshay, data interpretation. I'm assuming you're talking about the mechanism how real world data would be converted into the binary format. That is what, in fact, we're going to learn in tomorrow's class. You will get all of the updates related to the certificate in tomorrow's class. Srikanth, it is just string type of data. Basically, link for you, see, from the user interface point of view, it is basically a hyperlink that is created using the anchor tag. But if you take a link, send it to somebody, then it is going to be string type of data. Mamta, at least a little bit about interface. I'm really sorry, Mamta. This would be way too advanced for everybody else. Just remember, see, what is a class, Mamta? It is a blueprint of an object. The blueprint of a class is what we technically refer to as an interface. And an interface is going to contain only abstract methods up until Java 7. I'm happy to know that, Rajneesh, but thank you so much, Gurudevi, for the compliment. It means a lot. If it's possible, you can extend the class because we're going to see classes. I hope that was possible for Zana, but unfortunately, it isn't possible. But I mean, no, do not make me emotional. Anyways, let us keep it for tomorrow. I'm also definitely going to miss the audience. You have been. I'm not sugarcoating my words, but I have seen that definitely there are capable individuals as my audience here. Some of you are really good technically. So I'm happy because so randomly when I ask the definition of a RAM or any other backward references to the previous classes, I'm able to see some responses here. So I'm happy about it. Please, from next time, I only attend your class only. No, see, all of the trainers have got their own unique style of teaching. So everybody comes with their own style. So please do not be so restricted. Thank you so much, Lavanya. No, I'm getting all of the thank you messages, the appreciation messages. Your teaching is good. We enjoy your classes. We are going to miss your classes. All of that is great. Thank you so much. I'm expecting if there are any questions for me, technical doubts. Oh, that's good, Rajneesh. You're most welcome, Aniket. Hope the problem is sorted in your computer and hope you're also practicing it. Okay, I'm assuming there are no questions for me. So I put the question earlier. Purva, I would have missed it. Could you please resend it once again? Swapnil, we have not really decided to teach HTML or CSS in the future. Let us see if we come up with it. Definitely, you're going to be intimated. Why we should use Java? I mean, it's a very broad question, Farzana. There are hundreds of thousands of companies out there who are using Java. There are millions of developers who are using Java for different purposes. One of the very popular reason for using Java in the industry would be to develop web applications, web-based applications. Yes, Purva, you can definitely do it, but it is better. That is what we say modularity. You can include main method also in the class, which has also got another method, but it is going to lack modularity. Modularity means a class should have just one purpose. It should just have one method or at least methods related to that one purpose. So if you ask me syntactically, can we include main method also in the same addition class instead of creating launch class? Of course, you can do it. No issues with it. Shana Fatima, sir, what is stack memory and heap memory? I had told this in yesterday's class also. I think these are the memory regions within your JVM. Your JVM memory is divided into 5 regions: method area, heap area, stack area, PC registers, native method stack. So stack and heap are 2 of the regions within your JVM memory. You're most welcome, Omkar. So, Shana, this is going to be the answer, Shana Fatima. It's one of the memory regions within the JVM. On the stack area, you will be able to, on the stack area, what would be created is the activation records of the methods, nothing but the stack frames. And it is within those stack frames, you'll be able to store local variables. On the heap area, objects are going to be allocated memory in Java. The instance variables are also going to be allocated within the object, and the static variables would also be allocated memory onto the heap. Now, this is very early for you to know whatever I'm speaking. So it is going to take some time to understand all of this. I had also told you in the previous classes that we are also launching our full stack courses. So if you're interested, please do register yourself in the link that we had shared it in yesterday's class. So you will get all of the updates as to when the course is going to start, where is it going to start, what is the course fee going to be, and all of the other information. Of course, it is necessary, Sagar. Advanced Java is also necessary to learn. Spring framework, the Hibernate framework, microservices is also necessary to learn. Best language for developer, there is no such best language, Omkesh. It depends on the company, it depends on your project, it depends on your project manager. Hopefully, Aditya. Project topic, maybe you can start with some front-end related projects. So you can try creating some clones of the popular applications, maybe Book My Show clone, Instagram clone, Amazon clone. There are hours of videos available on YouTube where that person, every line that he's writing there, he would have shown you how that line is being written. So you also simply follow, try to understand, and so many projects can be added in your resumes. That's extremely important. You should also have your link on GitHub where all of these projects are going to be stored. Amar sir, could you please send the link to take their queries for the courses that they're interested in?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sharing.
Thank you, Amar. Any other questions for me? Right, it's already 9:25. The link is once again sent across in the meeting chat. So those of you who are interested in enrolling into one of our courses, please do register. And the counseling team would get in touch. Omkesh, the question is already answered. All right, everyone. Thank you so much once again. And tomorrow is going to be the last class in this program. So please make sure all of you join on time, 7 o'clock sharp, the class would start. Take care of yourself, take care of your family members, and have a great dinner, and good night, everyone. Thank you so much.